Hey Lenoir, I'm Joshua Harris. I'm the Public Information Officer for the city, and today I'm out at the Unity Park Community Gardens, and we're going to talk about square foot gardening. I've got with me
Ellen Roberts.
And you are
I'm a master gardener, extension volunteer.
Awesome. Well, Ellen, tell us a little bit about what square foot gardening is, and then we'll go over and take a look at the garden and see it in action.
Okay, well, square foot gardening is a way to try to plant in small spaces, and you basically divide your bed up into a series of small spaces. Generally, you don't want your bed more than 4 foot wide so you can reach across.
Okay.
And it can be any length. You know, it can be 4 foot, it can be 2 foot, it can be, ours are 16 feet.
Okay.
And basically, it's a way to do intensive gardening in small places. For instance, in a row bed, you might only plant a thing of lettuce every foot, but in the square foot garden, we're going to plant 9 leaf lettuces in 1 square foot.
Okay.
And what that's going to do is allow us to take advantage of a very small space. It will crowd out the weeds, and it will hopefully give us a lot of good lettuce in a very small place.
Okay. Well, I mean, would there be reasons that you wouldn't just square foot garden everything?
Well, you know, there are lots of people have lots of room, and they have tried and true methods in their own gardens, and they work well too. But what we're trying to show in the community garden is you might only have a very small place, and you go, I can't garden, but you can. You can at least get lettuce or spinach or any number of things. And the other thing we're trying to do with this garden is we're trying to show how you can, let's say, once the lettuce is gone, because it's a cool weather crop, well, then you can plant something else. You might plant beans. You might plant a squash. You might plant something like that so that you can be harvesting in a very small place all throughout the year.
Awesome. So we're going to go take a look at where you're planting a demonstration bed here at the Unity Park Community Gardens.
That's correct.
So if people are interested, they can come by.
They can come by and look and see what we've done. Yes,
Okay.
and we're trying to mark all the plants and make sure people know what's in the bed.
Let's go over and take a look.
All right, sounds good. Okay, so what we have is we have a bed of carrots and radishes right there. They're seeds, you can't see them yet.
Okay.
We've got our lettuces, and we also have carrots and radishes on this end. There's some we haven't got squash yet. There's some spinach, and there's going to be some spinach in this one. And then on the other side of it is going to be a couple more lettuces. We're going to plant those with seeds because we kind of want the harvest to come out, we want to harvest for a longer period of time. So if we start some with plants and some with seeds, that'll allow us to do that.
Okay.
In this row here, we're going to have arugula and onions. And here we have some red cabbage and beets. We have some more cabbage. We're going to have pak choy, which is a Chinese type of cabbage, and some more onions. In this row is Swiss chard. It's a beautiful plant, and so we want to see and it's great to eat and it's good for you, so we're going to plant that there. We already have our kale and our collard seeds planted. This row is going to be green beans. This row is peas. Actually, they're going to be the snap peas. No, sugar peas. We're going to have some eggplant. This end here is going to get planted a little bit later because it's for warmer weather stuff. We're going to have eggplant, and we're going to have cucumbers. We're going to have some tomatoes, some peppers, and a variety of squash, some winter squash, and some summer squash. We're going to try over on this end to also interplant some lettuce and radishes because the squash will be a little bit slower to come up. So we're trying to get something out of this garden for as long as possible.
If people want to do this themselves, what are some basic steps they need to take?
Well, basically they need to find a spot in their yard or even on their deck or somewhere that a sunny spot.
Okay.
And they need to determine how big a bed they want.
Okay.
And remember that you want to be able to reach across the entire bed, so don't make it any more than 4 feet wide. And that means you want to be able to reach from either side if it's 4 foot wide. If you're going to only be able to reach from one side, make it 2 feet wide.
Okay.
You want to build the bed. There's various ways and various things that you can use to build the bed, and there's all kinds of information on the internet and Mel Bartholomew's Square Foot Gardening book on how to build a bed. And you can fill the bed. You're going to want to fill the bed with some raised soil garden bed soil, and you can get that at various places. Again, I'll refer you to the internet and to Mel Bartholomew's book. And once you build the bed, the other thing you want to do, you want to plan your garden. You want to see, you know, what do I want to grow? You want to look at, you know, do I want lettuce? Do I want green beans? Tomatoes are always popular. Peppers, radishes, carrots. There's a variety of things you can grow in a square foot garden bed. If you grow squash, you probably want to not put one squash plant per square foot. You probably want to spread that out just a little bit because those squash plants get pretty big.
Okay.
If you can find a bush variety of squash, that's a good idea.
So find a sunny spot.
Yep.
Build a bed. Got to get some soil.
Yeah.
Do some planting.
Yeah.
Then mark out your
it out.
square feet.
And you know, if you can mark it where, like we did with string, that's a good idea. If you don't want to mark it with string, it's okay, but it helps you planting to mark it with string, or anything that you can tell where your square feet are.
Awesome. Well, I'll look forward to coming back in a few weeks.
Okay.
And seeing what's growing up and maybe following the bed throughout the season. So
that sounds great.
You know, maybe we'll make this a video series.
Hey, that sounds good. Thanks a bunch.
Thank you very much.
Take care.